cage. I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Slossin' that soldier.
After they keep doing all this talking about what they done to this, done to that. Alright. So, and then we just talked about that they're going at the versus Timberwolves. They made work of the Warriors to advance to the conference. There's not a lot we can say about that. I mean, the Warriors didn't have Kyrie, so we expected the Timberwolves to win anyway. But I give a shout out to Julius Randle. I know they don't want to give a shout out to him. We know Anthony Edwards, the main person that star. But this man, Julius Randle, having the playoffs in his career so far.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist that I am, but once again, like I've been saying all season when we talk about the NBA has based this season around history. All around history. It started off with history when the Celtics made the most threes in a fucking game to start off a season. And then it just kept trickling downhill. We get all the way to the playoffs, and it's the first 4 road teams winning. Like, look at this is just
first stuff in NBA.
This is just like the last year and the year before. Jason Tatum got his first ring, and while we don't talk about it a lot, let's not forget the injuries that happened in the Eastern Conference that made it easy. For this man to make it to the... Did we not forget about Embiid and his hobbling? Did we not forget about Giannis last year? Did we not forget about Halliburton? Let's not forget how Tatum really made it, because if these teams were strong, we'd be talking. And I'm going to get the same fucking thing to SGA. Because, or add, whichever one wins.
Either one, because they both beat teams. I'm glad you brought that up.
Both of them are going to trials of beating teams that weren't at full strength, while we're also getting advertised as being better than everybody else.
You know what's funny? I was going to put that as a topic, but I decided to leave it alone. But you actually brought it up for me. That's how I know we think the same. One of the questions I was going to ask you was, did injuries play a factor in the second round?
They're gonna play a part in these whole playoffs. Like, that's the thing. That's why I brought up that narrative a couple episodes ago about how this season is about establishing the new stars, while the old vets are still here.
Old vets and OG superstars. Yeah.
You notice how these guys were being beat by the SGAs. like I said, it's like I talked about. SGA couldn't be challenged or even look like he couldn't do nothing until he got to somebody they could possibly lose to. SGA started that game. SGA ain't look like SGA. J-Dub looked like J-Dub that was leading that team. Then all of a sudden, when the blowout got blowout, now SGA hitting every shot.
Keeps going.
SGA getting fouled. I'm trying to figure out how Nikola Jokic do the same exact fucking moves as SGA, and there's no foul. Ball go out of bounds, turnover. But the minute SGA get touched or his fucking headband get fucking air blown on it, he's going to the foul. Like how what is the difference?
They want the Thunder to be the next new upcoming team.
It was like they had to get him to 30 points in that game 7 because he wasn't gonna get there without the free throw.
Yeah, probably was his first time with 30, and that's all right. And also, when you was just talking about, I'm glad you just brought up the stuff with Tatum too, because they was talking about First Take, and I was thinking to myself, like, the hell are y'all talking about? They was talking about, can Jalen Brown be the number 1 option on the championship team? I'm like, why y'all asking this question about Jalen Brown? Would y'all say the same thing about Jason Tatum? Because literally, to me, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown need each other.
Yeah, they work well off of each other. Both of them have the same characteristics, although certain skills are more polished in certain levels for both. Where both of them are so adamant that if you're double teaming one, you know the other one gonna get his. So they work so well together when they're both in the game, when they're both on their shit. It's like, oh, you can't leave both of them, because if both of them hitting 20, you guarantee that you're going to let a person like Big Al or Derrick White get his too.
And to me, that make it sound like they disrespecting Jalen Brown.
How can you, that's how I say, can a finals MVP? I don't see Tatum with a finals MVP. I don't see Tatum with an MVP.
That's basically saying that they think Jason Tatum is this much better than Jalen Brown, that y'all had to ask that question. And first of all, I'm gonna tell everybody that Celtics would have never won that championship if they didn't get Drew Holiday and Porzingis. You seen Tatum and Brown couldn't win a championship until they got Drew Holiday.
Yeah, like everybody played a part. Like I said, even last year when they was glazing the Celtics, how much promotion was it about? How many all-star players they got? Yeah. Anybody on any given night can be the lead and score. But they got there, so it ain't about them this year. It's about SJ and the Thunder.
Remember they kept saying, "Will Tatum get his first?" That's the thing about it. Now I understand why probably Jalen might be deep down. Maybe it was all, can Jason Tatum get his first ring? It wasn't can the duo get their first ring.
Yeah.
It was can Jason Tatum get his first ring.
Yeah.
Like they just be picking and choosing like these stars they want to glaze and talk about. And
yeah, I'm gonna wait till we get to the Eastern Conference to bring up my other conspiracy theories on Tatum and the Celtics, but we gonna stick with this one. As far as this, I know what I said from last time. The script doesn't change. The script is to get SGA in that number one team Thunder and his first MVP, which the commentators pointed out as confused too, because Doris Burke said, why wasn't the MVP announced prior to Game 5?
It should have been. It should have been awarded in Game 1 of the series.
Yes, she even pointed out before they usually don't wait this long, but here we are, Game 7, because when Dirk Nowitzki ass got put out, his ass got MVP like 3 days after their ass got eliminated by the Golden State Warriors that year. They didn't wait till the third round.
Why is it the conference finals and the MVP? They did that on purpose because they knew when they saw that matchup, they were going to wait on purpose.
They knew that if they did it before, there was reason to debate and take sides if one or the other won. But if you let it wait out and let it go so that the Thunder decisively win and that in person gets the MVP, then you have little backlash because the other person that was for MVP is already eliminated by the person who eventually wins. It's fucking tactics, bro. Like, it's slick, but like I said, like, to go into this, the script doesn't change. It's Thunder in 6. They go into their first NBA championship since the KD Westbrook Harden era. Because it's still fitting the script. Now, I feel like the script was originally Thunder Celtics. Like I said, I'll get into that. And this is nothing against Minnesota. I just feel like the same thing with the script is going to fall to them. Like, we know what the Nuggets do. We know what the Nuggets can do. Even with the Nuggets in Game 7 last year against the Minnesota, they didn't. These motherfuckers folded like fresh laundry in the first quarter, after the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, and we not falling for that. We know it was part of the script, and I feel like Minnesota might succumb to the
me,
same
I thought
thing.
that was phony. And that was so Minnesota can get to the conference finals so they can build up the new style.
Yeah. Like, let's be real. Like you didn't need both Edwards and SGA going to Game 7s against Jokic and Steph Curry. Y'all didn't need that. Because you think Steph and Jokic really was going to go out like that?
No.
Not a fucking chance. Like I said, that's why I solely believe Steph Curry could have played. The same way Mr. Hamstring 2 doubtful.
Aaron Gordon had a grade 2 hamstring. That means it takes at least a month of recovery.
His body enough to play 26 minutes and not sprint. And you telling me a 4-time NBA champion like Stephen
and he only had a grade 1.
The man who wears fucking basically ankle braces on his ankles to protect them fragile motherfucker. You think he wouldn't knew his body enough to at least be a distraction?
It was a video of him in Game 4 of him dribbling in the tunnel.
I'm saying when he had the great sweatsuit on.
Yeah, warm up.
I ain't tricking me.
Steph said this morning that Game 1s of a series are always just a feeling out process. What do you learn from this Game 1 that you're going to bring into Thursday as a team?
That Steph is our best player, and the game is much easier when we got him.
Off-season torture and what could have been. How close would you say you were to playing?
Everything was kind of aligned for Game 6. I had some testing to do, and who knows how that would have went because I hadn't gone live since Game 1, and first time dealing with this injury. I was pretty optimistic, but there were a couple more check points to get through, but it's a great what if.
What's your summer look like?
And like you were saying, but who gonna draw the most money? Remember before Game 6, they had fucking all they had was talking about on ESPN. The first take was Stephen A. Smith and Brian Windhorst. They fucking had some Knicks gale on the table and stuff. All some it's on the blue skies. They fucking even had Spike Lee on that.
Yeah.
Come on, the narrative was just perfect.
Yeah. Like, sometimes we got to be able to recognize the patterns. Sometimes it's not directly in front of you. That's why ESPN is the worldwide leader in sports. And there's so many other subdivisions of shows to show you. The first takes, the get-ups. The shows everywhere. The bring you, the sell you, the narrative. They keep the stuff in their head that they want you to keep in their head. That's important. Like, why are we getting Spike Lee on first take for Eastern Conference Finals? You niggas ain't had a championship in 40 years, 50 years. What are we doing? Like, but you ain't even raised the Eastern Conference banner yet. But we getting celebrities on here to talk about how good y'all doing. Like, it's
and then another thing, did you see how many celebrities sit in rappers they show at that? Y'all niggas don't never be at no Knicks game.
Yeah,
they showing Buster around. When I ever seen Buster around at a Knicks game?
How many celebrities they were showing at that fucking game?
They show like 20 of them. They show Buster around. They had Fat Joe and Remy Ma all in the front row.
Nigga, they had all half of the Knicks from '99.
They had, you saw Patrick Ewing and then Marcus came out sitting together. John Stark and Larry Johnson.
God damn. Yo, they had everybody out there, baby. Orange and Blue Skies was lit, man. You don't see Reggie Miller and Larry Bird pulling up for no Pacers conventions, do you? I mean, but besides how much they selling, they glazing SGA and their camaraderie and all this, and Mike Dagnall and all this other bullshit. What's that thing about Ant Edwards? You know, he's the future star. He said he wanted to go to State Warriors. You know, their whole promotion about to be for Western Conference was who's really the face of the league now.
That's basically what it is.
Who's the best guard in the league? That's starting to be the new narrative. Like it's hard for them to continue to sell, to continue to make us believe it's not script, it's not rigged when they do things like this. I feel like it's gonna be hard for them to sell this script because. Like, the Pacers ain't no slouches.
They not.
Pacers are not good at selling scripts.
James Williams and Scott Foster going to have to work for that.
Like, to me, the Pacers are so good all around. The only way the script gets sold is for them to make somebody be injured and be out.
Yeah,
like Halliburton.
That's why I know all of us are in sync.
Yeah.
Darren said his predictions are Pacers, but he said if somebody on Indiana get hurt, the Knicks going to win the series.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's the way they play. If all of them are playing, you're not just beating the Pacers, because you might not even get 2 games straight against the Pacers.
Yeah,
everybody's healthy.
Rick Carlisle.
Somebody got to be hurt. Rick Carlisle is a championship pedigree coach, and when I look at the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau and his, I'm gonna play people as many minutes as possible. Like, I cannot forget OG Anunoby. That hamstring looked at a rail last year. He wasn't supposed to be out there. If anybody wasn't supposed to play, it was supposed to be his ass last year. And I feel like, my thing from last year was the narrative. He playing 40, 45 minutes every game, and then all of a sudden, Hart hurt, Brunson hurt, everybody hurt. Like, they basically had no starting 5 last year, and that was the thing. But this year, everybody is pretty much healthy for the Knicks. Everybody's pretty much healthy
both teams
for the Pacers. And when I look at it like that,
what's funny is, guess what? The 4 teams up, everybody healthy.
When I look like it like that, the only way with both teams healthy, the Knicks win in 7. But I won't be without some kind of controversy from officiating anything. The only way I see the Knicks winning decisively is with a Pacer injury.
Garden, courtside, where the celebs are. Spike Lee, of course, in his usual spot. So many longtime Knick fans. John Leguizamo as well. Natalie Dress, Susie Espin. Been here all season long watching Knick games. Tina Fey making an appearance here in Game 4. Tracy Morgan here every single night to watch his Knicks. And Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner seem to be loving life right now as we're set to go for